Welcome to the Goob Show. Back for my second part two. The one earlier didn't go as well, but I got a friend in here. We're gonna talk about a homie that's real knowledgeable about this Friday the 13th. We're gonna get it right into it. Not gonna hold y'all up. What's good with your hero? You there? Think you muted. Anyway, yeah, when I started the first, uh, my earlier one live, not sure if I was shadow banned. It looks like I am still. Um, I guess because I don't come on that much. Um, my notifications don't get put out. But hey, Hero, you there? Think you? Oh, okay. You have to come back in. Um, yeah, but this is interesting. Yeah. What's good with you? All right. Somebody got the notification in there. Yeah, we're gonna get into this Friday the 13th. Um, and speak on how it is. What's happening with your neighborhood real? Go to the link if you want to come in. Hero,
Yeah,
you there?
yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Okay,
can hear
yeah,
you.
okay. Yeah. I was talking, but you weren't saying that, so
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know what
Yeah. Something
yeah,
must
I
have
don't
went
know what
in
happened.
when I pulled you out the first time.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, what I was speaking on is Friday the 13th and why people think it's a bad day. Is it the number or is it the day or is it the two combined?
Nah, the reason why Friday the 13th ended up with a bad omen surrounding it is because what most people don't understand is that this society that they live in was constructed and engineered by Freemasons. You dig what I'm saying? So a large part of what we dealing with is actually a calendar that's based on the number 13 that we used to have. There was a 28-day 13-month calendar. When you say month, you saying moon, so it was a moon calendar instead of a sun calendar, right? And
Okay.
um the science behind that is that uh what's your birthday?
410.
Okay. So April the 10th, every year, your birthday will fall on the same day. So if your birthday was on a Wednesday, every year it's gonna fall on a Wednesday because it was a perfect calendar. It was a 364-day, 13-month, 28-day month calendar. And when you know about the pyramids in Chichen Itza in Mexico, the step pyramids.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I was
Okay,
going.
so when you look at the step pyramids in Chichen Itza, it got four sides, and each one of it got 91 steps on it. 91 times four is 364, because it used to be a 364-day year instead of 365.
Oh
So
wow. So
yeah, yeah,
all the pyramids were made with that, or those just the step pyramids?
just this one particular step pyramid in Chichen Itza.
Okay.
Because see, like what people don't overstand about the different monolithic structures and things that was built. They was built during different times, and they were built to commemorate certain things. That's why a lot of people don't understand the science behind ancient Egypt, or what some people call Kemet, or what some people call Tamaray. They don't know the science behind it because they going off of what the speculations that Egyptologists made, and a lot of the stuff that was thrown in front of us was thrown in front of us so we would never know what it was really all about. So the one particular one that I'm talking about, the same applies to the structures that was built in Central and South America as well. But this one in particular, it was actually built as a calendar because the four sides of it represents the four seasons of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. But with the number 13, that's one of the things that they've always hidden from us. But the other thing about Friday the 13th is that um Friday the 13th, October 13th to be exact, in 1307, King Philip the Fourth uh arrested all of the Knights Templar, according to the Masonic legend, and they was killed and all burned at the stake. But um from my vantage point, what I think really happened was they made this infamous day in their historical narrative because they had to do something because the Knights had become too powerful at that time. Because when you understand what happened with the Crusades, the Knights was actually the people that was going through the countryside with the cross, which is a sword. When you look at a cross, it's really a sword.
Right.
Um, and sword is the S word. Um, but when the Knights was a part of the Crusades and the Inquisition, they would go different places and was really on some state property, get down or lay down. And if you didn't get down with the Catholic Church, they was gonna make you lay down. So they had become very powerful because they had stole all of these riches and killed all of these people. And um the Roman Catholic Church and the the King of France at that time had to do something to nullify their power. So basically, um there's one story that they put out in the mainstream, but what I think the truth is behind the story is that they went underground and they basically concealed themselves and lived kind of like um the rest of their days out, not letting people know who they were, because they didn't want to be killed and they didn't want to go to war with the Catholic Church and the King of France at the time, who had become very, very powerful.
Who the Knights Templar?
Yes.
Um, Let me ask you this, dear. Well, if it's if the number 13
Hmm.
is the bad part of it, why isn't Tuesday the 13th or Thursday the 13th or
Right,
you know what I
because
mean?
numbers ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Like a number can't be bad. But
Right.
also 13 is the 13th letter in the English alphabet is M, Mason, Mother, Mary, the Messiah,
Oh,
Muhammad, Moses,
right.
Malcolm, Martin, Marcus, right? That's Michael. Look at all of these names and words that, because M is the midpoint in the language, right? M is Master Mason. So 13 is a code that they use very often um in this society. Matter of fact, while we talking, I'm gonna go ahead and open my
What's good with you,
laptop.
cowboy? Yeah. When I was reading this book, I came to a part, in Behold a Pale Horse.
Right,
And dude talks about the new world in the new world order.
right,
There are 9 tail feathers on the eagle, 13 leaves in the olive branches, 13 bars and stripes, 13 arrows, 13 letters in E Biblis Unum. He's talking about what's on the dollar bill.
E pluribus
13
unum.
strong.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, e pluribus unum.
Yeah, and then he got 13 stars in the green crest above, 13 stones in the pyramid,
Yeah.
13 letters in I knew it copious. Copious.
Right. Yep.
And he says 13 is a mythical number assigned to Satan. But, a lot of people say that.
Yeah. Yeah, but Bill Cooper didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And he was first off, he was he was somebody who believed in the gospel and Jesus and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if you're gonna get into all of this esoteric information, then you can't be a person who believes wholeheartedly in religion. It don't go hand in hand.
That's true.
See what I'm saying?
That's why people that's really in space have a decipher between religion and space. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
construe what they seeing and then believing in religion. What's good with your 448? Yo.
yeah.
Um, but so is Friday the 13th unlucky, what people say? Or do you have, like I put on my thumbnail, does everybody have superstitions? Or, you know what I'm saying? Do
Yeah,
everybody have things like, oh, I don't want this black cat walking in front of me. I don't want, oh, if I break this mirror, do I get 7 years bad luck? You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, is um all that stuff is, it's like if you understand why they doing it, then you know what it is. And like I said, what's good or bad or what's good or evil is all based on somebody's perception, you know.
right,
Um, what else I'll say though is that amendment verdict in Trayvon Martin case was given on 7, 13, and 13. If you add those three together, you get 33.
wow,
You see what I'm saying? So
right,
it's like with with a lot of this stuff, the reason why they able to do a lot of this stuff that they do, bro, is because like um we don't know the science and we don't know like how much they've been hiding from us. And from my vantage point, they put people like Bill Cooper out here um to put books out there like Behold the Pale Horse, and they make it so popular, but at the same time, if everything that he was about was the real deal, they would have been blacklisted his books because he been dead for years.
right, right.
You see what I'm saying? So
So
it's
is
just
that
like
so is that to say that you don't believe a lot of what his book or Pale Horse?
I mean, I don't have beliefs.
No.
I either know or I don't know. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
And the New World Order is already taking place because when the conquistadors, which were Sephardims, which is that them J people that people always get in trouble about, when they talk about them. But this about to be in my next book. So in 1492, the Borgia Pope became the Pope. If you know about the Borgia Pope, then you know that Cesare Borgia, his son, is really the image of Jesus. That a lot of the pictures you see is actually the image of the son of the Pope. His name was Cesare Borgia, right? They
Wow.
made a big deal about him becoming the Pope because he was a Spaniard. But the real deal was not only was he a Spaniard, but he was one of them J folks.
Right.
All right. In 1492, he became the Pope, and in 1492, Christopher Columbus came to Americas. Christopher Columbus is not his real name. His real name is Cristobal Colon, but Christopher Columbus means to come bearing Christ. He was sent here by the Catholic Queen Isabella, who was also a J. So you have the Ashkenazi or the Khazars, which are from Eastern Europe, where Russia and Ukraine is still to this day. And then you have the Sephardim, who are the Spaniards. And
Okay.
this is why we don't know that we the real Native Americans.
Right.
Because they replaced us with the people that look like what? A Mexican. No disrespect to Mexican people, but when you look at most Native Americans, the ones that you call Indians, they are a African that's mixed with an Asian. And then the only difference between a lot of the Native American tribes and Mexicans is that the Mexicans was the ones that was conquered by the conquistadors, and that's why they end up speaking Spanish. So most of the places where Puerto Rico, the Dominican, places like that, these are all of the places that the conquistadors went in Central and South America. And that's why all of these people speak Spanish in these places. But these original people that came in 1492, they was the J people.
Mm.
But most people don't know that. Most people don't know that it was the different bloodlines of the actual ethnicity that you call, these folk. And that's why they become the people who are favored in all of religion, because they actually came here to put the indigenous people of North America, Central America, and South America under the sword. Remember, I said that cross is a sword, under the
Right.
sword of the Catholic Church. So that's why the Catholic Church has sovereign immunity. A priest could rape 18 boys at one church, and all they do, or one, what they call it, parish, and then they just move them to another parish, and he never goes to prison. And the church just pays some money to the families to stay quiet, and that's what they keep doing, because they are not under the jurisdiction of the United States.
That's why they say churches don't pay taxes and none of that.
Right. But yeah, and that's why you have religious law and you have secular law. You have ecclesiastical law, and then you have the secular law, which is based on corporate codes and banking codes. So that's why you see some of the same things that you see in the courtroom that you see in banks.
Uh,
Because a lot of the terms that are used in court are banking terms, and that's why they're dealing with a financial transaction. When you speed, you have to pay a fine, right? Which is a
right.
financial transaction. So now you're dealing with banking codes. So
See,
it's really about how deep people want to go on some of these subjects, Goob.
right, right, right. Like I said,
Look,
but
look,
my
look, 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 punk to tell you, neighborhood to tell you, boy, I get surgical with this shit, bro.
Yeah, get surgical, Jake.
yeah, that's what I'm talking
That's why I
about.
ain't saying that. Hey, I'm just squirting the water on the cuts.
Yeah,
Keeping it clear.
Boss
yeah,
Claus, what's good with you?
I'm just in the cut.
yeah.
See if he would have.
But see, this really the news we can use, man. And like
Facts.
Yeah,
that's why a lot of these characters that's out here, like, see, I done held a top secret clearance in the military, bro. So I know when I see government activity, I know what's going on with a lot of this stuff. I know
right.
what type time y'all on. If how people could pull out guns and make videos threatening me and all this type of stuff, but my channel get taken down, and they say my channel is a violent channel when I don't even raise my voice at nobody.
Right, right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like
Are you still fighting that?
when nah, they done took the channel, bro. This the deal, right? Bro, I'm getting ready to finish my 5th book. I got moves in play, bro. I got moves on top of moves, and it ain't nothing that they could do to stop me. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this
Right.
shit do is make the story greater. You know how at the end, the hero, he go through all this shit and he still win. I'm that nigga. So all the niggas that hating on me, man, my name like a dick. It stay in a whole mouth. So I ain't worried about, you know what I'm saying? Nobody hating me. I ain't worried about them trying to take my channel. It don't matter, bro. It's nothing. It's no force on this planet that can come up against what I'm doing. That's how much confidence I got in myself. So I ain't like I did the little appeal and they was like, we're still taking your channel. And guess what? It just showed me that I need to do some shit and it don't need to be on YouTube.
Right.
Right. Right.
You know?
That's
So I still do the little shit here and there where I drop knowledge whenever I feel like it or whatever. But and the moves I got in play, man, it ain't nothing gonna stop what I got going on. And when it's all said and done, can't nobody talk about the type of shit I talked about and make the shit look that good and make it that plain to where this nigga over here could get it, this nigga over here could get it, this nigga over here, and now we all on the same page. And that's what these folk don't want.
nah, they don't want unity, period, point blank,
Right.
or knowledge
They
given.
want it right. They want people to keep killing each other. They want us to stay ignorant. They want us to stay stupid. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't with none of that. And I ain't gonna feed into none of it. I'ma
Right.
keep pushing, you know.
That's what I say about my little UFO shit, man. I love it to death. I be trying to open eyes to other people that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You might think
for
that,
sure.
could tell us everything, homie, but something is flying around up there, and we ain't got no
Right,
ability to stop it.
right, right. Another thing I wanted to point out to you about the number 13, bro, that people need to know. Like I said, that 13 is a Masonic number, right? Um, Mary was the 13th disciple. Who's sleeping?
She
That's
was
neighborhood.
Hmm?
You sleep, bro.
Nah. That's my sinuses, bro.
Oh, I'm gonna say, damn, bro.
No, my
yeah.
son. I'm over here trying to drain my sinuses. I'm
Okay.
fucking fucked up. I'm in
Oh,
that
okay.
that cold weather, out in the rain, in the cold, snowing up here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
He
okay.
going
I
back
thought
and
I had
forth. He
muted
in
my mic. I
Texas.
was over here. I'm over. I took this shit. Y'all go me mute my mic. I'm trying to drain my sinuses.
Gotcha. Let me
Hey,
see.
look, but go ahead, because I don't think a lot of people knew that
What?
she was the 13th disciple.
Yeah. That's why. That's why.
Oh, you talking about Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I know that.
Yeah. That's why Mary. She was the one that came um to the sepulchre, and she found out that the stone had been moved. You know.
Boss Claus say neighborhood real gonna be on the next clip, on
Yeah,
the
man.
next
My
book.
sinuses, man. Don't put me on the clip. My sinuses messed up. Laying down and shit. I'm fucked. Man, I'm stopped up. Hey, but
Yeah.
check this out though. That's like going back to this though with the Knight Templars. People didn't really know that the Knight Templars was the ones pushing the crusade. That
Yeah.
they was the one on every crusade going over there pushing for the Catholic Church. But then they was stealing. They was getting all, like you say, they was getting all the jewelry, the gold, and everything else, and they was stacking it up for themselves. That's
Right.
what turned around when
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
But then when King, what's his name? Like, was it King Herod, the one that ordered them to get to kill them all
King Philip
because
the
he
Fourth.
wanted
That's
them?
what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted them to. What it was something he wanted them to do, and they was like, nah, they not doing it. And
Yeah.
then
Cause
that's when
they.
he ordered them to get killed,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
they flipped it. That's when they went
Yeah.
underground.
Yeah. Exactly. They.
Yeah, that's when they went underground. And
Yeah. And a lot of these celebrities faking their death that people don't know, because they connected to them Masonic like that.
Right.
You want me to really break this shit down though? Um
Yeah, go ahead.
go
I'm rolling. I'm listening,
okay,
man.
this out.
I'm sucking up knowledge.
Okay, check this out. So this
Yeah.
this is an excerpt. This is an excerpt from my first book. I'm gonna read this, and then I'm gonna read the post that I dropped earlier today, neighborhood.
I
On
seen it. I shared.
yeah, I know. I saw you shared it. That's why I said I know. I know you saw it. So I'm gonna read this first, though. This is in my book, Supreme Science, the one that came out in 2016. I was on this shit in 2014, 2010. Goob, you hear me?
I hear you. Talk
It
about the
says,
same. Talk about this right here.
yeah, watch this.
Okay.
This finna make you say, okay, I'm gonna get surgical real quick. It
All right.
says, it says symbolism and allegory. We explain the African origin, founding religion, and Freemasonry. The Gregorian calendar is based on the science of the number 13. The number 13 represents transformation, rebirth, and renewal. Similarly, we previously discussed how the three monotheistic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam's main characters, Moses, Messiah, and Muhammad, names or titles all begin with the letter M, which is the 13th letter of the English alphabet. M is also seen in words like mother or maiden. The mother or maiden is important in astrology and can be viewed in the word mason or Ma's son. The definition of Muslim son has no true meaning. They represent Virgo, who is known to give birth to life and the new things. Her symbol is an M turned inward. With this in mind, the new beginning of the new year and ancient African cultures revolved around the spring equinox. European plagiarists utilized this concept in creating holy days, holidays, holy days or holidays, or holidays or holy days, based around the equinoxes and the solstice. Most major American Western holidays are either 13 days or 13 days before or 13 days after an important day, including one of the four equinoxes or solstices. January 1st, New Year's, is 13 days after the original winter solstice. January 6th, the Christians' feast, and Three Kings Day, where the wise men visited the Christ child, is 13 days after December 25th. February 14th, Valentine's Day, is 13 days after February 1st, the National Freedom Day, honoring Abraham Lincoln and Congress. March 8th, Passion Sunday or Lent Day, is 13 days before March 20th or the 21st, which is the spring or vernal equinox. April 1st, April Fool's Day, is 13 days after the spring equinox. April 19th or the 20th, which is Hitler's birthday, is 13 days before May 1st or May Day. May 14th, Mother's Day, is 13 days after May 1st. May 26th, Memorial Day, 13 days after Mother's Day. June 22nd, Summer Solstice, is 13 days before July 4th. September 7th, Labor Day, is 13 days before September the 20th, the vernal equinox. The 13th system was also used during the founding of the United States of America, as well as European history. Instead of 13 days, it became 13 years, beginning in the year 1776. One notices every 13 years there is an incident involving Caucasoid countries every 13 years, culminating with the founding of the United Nations in 1945, exactly 169 years after 1776, 13 periods of 13 years each. 1776, Thomas Paine published Common Sense Declaration of the Declaration of Independence, American Revolution. 1787, French Revolution, adoption of the U.S. Constitution and the Great Seal. Washington, D.C. incorporated in 1802. 1815, the Congress of Vienna in the Napoleonic era, Convention of Commerce, navigation established trade with England, and the Battle of New Orleans, 1828, Belgium's independence in the Netherlands, 1843, Charles Dickens published A Christmas Carol, 1853, the Crimean War, Russia against France, Jerusalem's holy place, 1867, Britain and North America Act, United Canada and Alaska sold to the U.S. The Society of Rosicrucians was formed in England. This is not the origin of the fraternity. 1880, presidential sealing coat of arms, Egyptian obelisk transferred to New York, beginning the conquest of Africa by European colonial powers. 1893, Parliament of World Religions was founded. 1906, the panic that provided excuse to establish the Federal Reserve Act, the National Education Association Incorporated, NEA. And that's real important because that's when John Rockefeller, soon after, he bought the American education system for workers and not thinkers. Paris keys the conference and set up plans for the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations. The German Workers' Party, or the Nazis, was founded. Progressive Education Association founded. So 1919 becomes very important in history with the Treaty of Versailles, because a lot of what people think about, them J people and that H word that they get mad at when people say it, but that H word actually means burnt offering in Hebrew. And a lot of the pictures and stuff that they show people think it's from the concentration camps, but it's really not. What happened with the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, they starved the whole country and it was famine. So it was people that wasn't eating, and all of the people that were building the economy in Germany left the country. And this was all done because they was trying to set up the whole deal with Adolf Hitler, because what happened was, with the Russian Revolution, the J people, they eliminated Tsar Nicholas II, which was the fourth wealthiest man in the world at the time. If you look it up, you could also look up the Romanov dynasty. They killed this man's whole family. They just executed them in a house, in a basement. And this man was actually the king of Russia back then. And the reason they did this was they wanted to make sure that they um, destabilize that region of the world, because geopolitically that region of the world is very beneficial to them. So they had to get this man out the way. But what ended up happening was, when Stalin figured out, like, damn, they did this fucked up shit, they did this fucked up shit, oh shit, he got mad. And he had like the most powerful army in the world at that time. So to stop Stalin, the whole world basically got involved. And they basically did what they did with the Treaty of Versailles, so that they could create the Great Wall of Berlin and everything else to stop the at that time the USSR. Because that's another thing that people don't understand, how big of a deal it was when they formed the USSR, and they created basically a communist state there. All of that was set up by the J people, because Karl Marx, when he wrote the Communist Manifesto and all of the stuff that he wrote, he was actually writing this ideology as propaganda to make the people in Russia want to revolt against their leadership. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And when they did this with Germany, they starved the country. So all of them old pictures and videos that people see, They think it's because the Nazis was doing all this stuff, but really and truthfully, people had been starving in this country, and it had got so bad that people would trade in their whole life savings for a couple of potatoes and a loaf of bread. People was taking like gold fillings out their teeth and selling it and all type of stuff like that. That's how depleted the economy in Germany became because of
Right.
the war sanctions that Germany was put on with the Treaty of Versailles.
See,
But
that's what I think what you call them is trying to do to Ukraine now. You know what I'm saying?
well, see, no, so see the Ukraine, right? You that's where the J people, the Ash look at the word Nazi, Nazi, Ashkenazi ends in Nazi, because they really the same people. It's like a big smoke screen that they gave the whole world. See what I'm saying?
If they gave who a smoke screen? Ukraine is
The
giving
whole
this.
world. No, the whole world back in the day.
Oh,
But
okay. Okay.
the Ukraine, another name for this group of people that's amongst the J people is called the Khazars. If you go look up the ancient name Khazaria, you'll find out that Khazaria is where the Ukraine is and Russia is today. So this whole fake war that they got going on is basically only a means to set up the same thing they did with World War II, because before World War II started, they had the Balfour Treaty, which gave them the land in the Gaza Strip that they took from the Palestinians. You understand?
Right.
So they creating this fake war that they got going on right now, because that's the whole premise of what they want to do is they want to give these people more reparations now so that they can move over here and they can get their shit popping over there, because the country is just depleted and it's war torn because they was fighting all them wars over there in the times that we talking about. And now, because it's no longer the USSR and they all separate countries again, they trying to help them build up their country. Whenever you
Oh,
see the United States government,
right.
whenever you see the United States government give money to any situation, it's because the J people controlling it. That's who really run this shit. That's what the Federal Reserve was all about. That's what really, when you look at the chairman of the Federal Reserve, he gets elected for 6 years at a time, bro. So no
Damn.
matter how good the president may think he could be, when that
Right.
nigga get elected and he pull up, they gonna be like, nigga, I don't know what you think you want to do while you here, but this is what you gonna do. Ask Ronald Reagan when his ass got shot because he tried to go against Bush, who was really the big dog. And
Right.
Bush dad, Prescott Bush, was in business with Adolf Hitler. He was the accountant for Adolf Hitler.
Oh,
I got a
damn.
picture. I got a picture on my TikTok and on my IG with Adolf Hitler sitting down with the CEO of IBM.
What's good
Henry
with you, Brian
Ford.
Johnson?
Check
Sorry
this
about
out. Check this out. Henry Ford sued the United States government because they bombed his tank making facility that he had in Germany. So if the war was really real like that, why was it all these American companies building tanks and giving oil and everything else like that to the German people, to the German military?
that. Right.
War
And
is
see,
just about making money, bro. It's just about the contracts to make money and the contracts to restore the land after it gets destroyed. So you remember when Dick Cheney was in office and they was talking about Halliburton, 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 because Dick Cheney
yeah,
used to be the CEO of Halliburton. And
yeah, I
Halliburton
remember that.
and Halliburton is a government contracted company that goes in to foreign soil and they basically help provide infrastructure. So we got to go to Saudi Arabia right now, or Jordan, or Pakistan, or Dakar, any of them countries, and it's a war going on, and we got to set up a cafeteria. More than likely, Halliburton gonna be over that contract. Before Halliburton, it was a company called Brown and Root.
Yeah, because I heard about Halliburton. They was all over in when they had the Gulf War, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Halliburton been in the game, ever since right after Vietnam. They just changed the names, but it be the same company.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
And let me give
That's
you these last two. So 1919 was the Treaty of Versailles. 1932 was the Zionist 18 Congress established in Jewish Agency for Palestine. That's what I'm talking about with the Balfour Treaty, what they did. And then 1945, the United Nations Charter and the Yalta Conference, the atomic bomb was dropped. And then it says other nations have used the number 13 as well to initiate their items of importance. A few years ago, news reports indicated that Iranian oil was to start trading on March 20, 2006, coinciding with the Iranian New Year. 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 6 equals 13. Additionally, the start of the Iraq War was March 20, 2003, the spring equinox.
Huh.
So, like, a lot of this stuff, bro, like, that's why people got to study the dates and everything else, you know?
Mathematics.
Yeah,
Hey, but look, go back to the Balfour Treaty. I was talking about that today, how they
yeah,
went and did that. And then they set them people because they came from Germany. So how did they end up in Palestine?
right, right,
And people don't understand that. Then that was the whole play. Like I was trying to tell the dude today, that was the whole play of the war too. Like they moved them, and it was like all the propaganda they showed us that all the things that happened, you just really you spoke on it. Like they was
right,
already starving, and then
right,
all the people that they say that died and was tortured, that ain't really what happened.
right.
And the number of people that say that was killed in Auschwitz and all of that, that number not
Yeah,
right.
that number ain't true, bro. It was
Yeah,
more
I know.
more of them. It was more of them in the world. Um, Let me look it up real quick because I got it in this same book. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Why you doing that? I can say this, and you could just go to
Yeah,
something even more modern, right? When the trade center bombers, no J people died in that.
yeah. They didn't show up to work that
They
day.
didn't show up for work that day. How's that?
Yeah, because Larry Silverstein, he owned the lease
I
on
know.
the trade center.
on,
He
on
changed.
what? On what? I missed
Larry,
that.
Larry Silverstein owned the lease in the World Trade Center, and he
Oh,
changed the lease like 4 months before 9/11 happened. 9/11 is the new year, was the new year for the J people that
Yeah,
year as well.
and nobody showed up for work.
Yeah, yep,
Ain't that something?
yep. His whole family worked in that building except his wife.
I know. And then the guy that built and the architect that built the buildings, he mysteriously died 2 weeks after he did the Newsweek article
Yeah,
talking about the structure of the building and why
right,
the way it fell, it didn't supposed to do that. And he spoke on
right.
why he felt like he did that. And then 2 weeks later, he was dead.
Yeah, because they bombed it.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say. I heard that there was explosions that hit from the bottom and pulled it down.
yeah,
Yeah, they demolish like a demolition.
Yeah, like a demolition.
yep. That's what it was. That's why That's why they changed it to the One World Center. That was the New World Order because they knew world is about money because that's their God.
Yeah, one currency, one world
Yeah,
currency.
yep. There
Is
you
that why
go.
you think they was trying to come out with crypto? They was trying to make that?
Nah,
No?
uh. Okay. I think I done pulled it up. Hold on. Let's see. See. Okay, yeah. Okay. And the word there is holocaustum. I'm sorry, HOLOCAUSTUM in Latin.
Holocaust.
Right. It means
What's the meaning
burnt offering.
in Latin?
Yeah.
Hmm. I didn't know that.
Yeah. In Hebrew too. So check this out. In the World Almanac Book of Facts for 1934, the religious population of the world had the total of J people at 15,630,000. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the year before WW2 started.
Right.
In 1946, the year after, the total world population was 15,753,638. So it increased by 123,638. So 6 million people couldn't have died
Mm-mm.
because that would have been a third. That would have been over a third of their world population back then.
That right there is interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for real. If you don't, because nobody thinks of it that way mathematically. You can't beat math. I don't care how much you try.
Bro, bro,
Numbers speak.
Goob, I get surgical with this shit, bro.
For
What?
real. For
What was
real.
that? What was that you text me?
Did I text you?
Yeah.
I had emailed you. That's what I had emailed you. What I had
Oh,
posted the other day, because when you had asked me about Friday the 13th, that's why I started laughing because I had just posted it. So I ain't gonna read all that. I'm gonna just drop this right here because Jason in Friday the 13th, Jason is Mason. So
he
now
said
that you know that
he got
Friday
a
the 13th,
question.
the day, Friday the 13th was the day that they supposedly killed the Knights Templar. Now watch this. Jason is a killer because he takes you from the life season to the death season. And they taught you that the Son of God was born in December, but death really happens in December. That's why nature is coming out of autumn or a tune. Everything that's green turns red, yellow, and brown, right? And then everything in nature falls, autumn, fall, before you go to the winter. Winter is where they come up with the concept of winter from, and that's why they tell you that a winner in sports have to have the killer instinct. He got to be a killer on the court. So, so Jason is July, August, September, October, November.
Say July.
July, August,
Oh,
September, October, November. I don't fuck around, bro. I get
that's crazy.
busy,
Yeah.
bro. I get busy, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
But look, hold on though. I thought Friday the 13th was a day because I can't even think of that dude name. The leader of the Night Templars. That was the same day that he's supposed to die, and then
Doc,
they had the
Doc do,
shroud.
Doc do
The,
Mole.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's his name.
yeah,
But
yeah,
see,
yeah,
that was when they were saying that that
wait,
shroud.
wait,
What
wait,
was
wait, wait. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I'm finna show you the game with that, right?
right,
Right. So that's why I dropped the numbers about the date.
right,
Because when you look at the numbers and the letters connected to the date, you'll see that you got GM or Grand Master, because he was the Grand Master of
and
the night,
master. Yeah,
right? And then he was JM, which is 23, because J is the 10th letter and M is the 13th letter, and he was the 23rd Grand Master. That's why the year was 1307. 13 is M and 7 is G, the GM. That's why the GM is the person who make all the decisions on who get traded from the Bulls or the Lakers or whatever.
right.
Because niggas think it means general manager, but it really means
It
grand
means
master.
grand master. Yeah,
So when you
Right.
see, that's why when you see like when they be having little when the coach certain coaches go to the center court and they be talking to the referee and they get a little bit more leeway. Watch how Doc Rivers be shaking them niggas hand after that, bro. Go look at the picture of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton came to LeBron game. I'm finna really give y'all some game. Bill Clinton came to LeBron game in Philly, which is Kobe Bean Bryant hometown, the day that LeBron passed Kobe in scoring, and the next day Kobe died. But when you look at the picture, Bill Clinton is giving LeBron James the Masonic grip, like, yeah, nigga, we finna sacrifice this nigga for you so you could be the golden woo 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 woo. That's why LeBron, that
Right.
whole ass nigga, changed his number to 6, because that's the number that the J folks operate off of. When he went to Miami and they lost that year to Dallas, he had to lay down and lose because they took the series from Dallas when Dallas had was finna beat Miami the first time when Miami had Shaq and D Wade. But
Right.
Shaq a Mason. So they done already made the promise to Shaq, like, look, you go over here. We gonna let the young fellas stay over here. We gonna make sure you win. Woo 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 woo. And I mean, y'all from the West Coast, so y'all know some of that bullshit Shaq was caught up in out there in LA. I ain't gotta go and all that.
hmm,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, he had to leave, and he was mad that they didn't want to pay him, that they wanted to pay Kobe. And um that's how that whole thing turned out. And then Kobe wasn't no bow down lay down type of nigga, so he wasn't gonna go for none of that shit. So that's why they put the rape case on Kobe. They knew he ain't raped the girl, but
humble
that's
him
what they'll
down.
do to you. That's what they'll do to you, because nigga, we can't let you get too rich and too powerful and too influential in this society and you ain't under our control.
Right. You see what's gonna happen? What you think about Kyrie?
um I think Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they ain't them type niggas. So they gonna make sure that they never win. I
Mm,
mean, all people gotta do is really pay attention. Kyrie was never a bad guy till he left LeBron. Think about it.
right.
He was a classic All-American kid. His pops played pro ball. His goddad was Rod Strickland, All NBA, former pro. Was coaching at Kentucky and coached in the league. This the stock that Kyrie came from. He was so good. He went to Duke University. Only played like 10 games his freshman year and was still the number one pick in the draft. And anybody that really understand basketball, you know he the one really won the series that year when they beat Golden State.
Right.
Even
Family
though
business.
Golden State was really about to beat them in game 5, and Steve Kerr pulled Klay Thompson because the great LeBron James can't lose in game 5 again. Yeah.
Yes.
I really like people don't even understand how much of a hoe LeBron James is, bro. I really don't like that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga's the
Right.
hoe of hoes, bro.
He say Cowboys say the people behind the curtain can't directly affect regular people.
Shit.
So
Can I get him? Wah, wah, wah.
Every time you go to that gas pump, homie, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like everything in this society, bro, they controlling it. The only thing they can't control is your soul and your intellect. That's it. But as far as anything, like check this out. I went the other night, um, my barbershop, it's like a Pizza Hut right next to my barbershop. And I don't even like eating out or nothing. And I was just hungry as hell because I had done went to the boxing gym. I had done coached my basketball team, and I ain't had nothing to eat. So I was like, damn, like, while I'm waiting to get my hair cut, I'm gonna go get some wings. Man, I went and tried to get 12 wings from the Pizza Hut. Guess how much the wings cost?
They was $14.99.
Bro, they was 30 some dollars, bro, for 12 wings, bro.
damn.
What the fuck? Nah.
On my mom, bro.
It's, I
So
thought they supposed to be $14.99.
I said, why the wings so much? She said, right now, she said it's a shortage. I don't know if it's affecting the whole United States, but she was like, it's a shortage on chicken right now. She said, so it's at a premium right now. It costs an arm and a leg for chicken right now. You probably could get a steak for less money than
Guess
chicken right
what? Yesterday I was gonna get Popeyes and they had a 2-piece for $12.99.
now. Dang.
Damn.
I was like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
A
Hey.
2-piece dork. Not the meal, just the 2-piece. That's it. Two
Yeah.
piece in a biscuit, $12.99.
Yeah. See, that's the thing though, bro. It's like what people don't get and what they don't realize until you actually study all this shit like I done studied. Like for the people that's listening, I suggest everybody go get this book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. And if they read that book, it's going to inspire you to read other books. But it's written by this man named John Perkins. And he basically telling you like how the United States and other um foreign countries work together and how they put people like Osama bin Laden and Muammar Gaddafi and all of these people who are world figures and world leaders, how they put these people in place. And it's actually something called a School of Americas where they train people from foreign governments here on US soil, you know. But if you get that book and you start reading that book, it'll help people understand more like how they do all the stuff that they do. Like a perfect example is how they be having niggas paying all this money for gas. So they'll tell you it's instability in the Persian Gulf, and you know this we're at the brink of war with Saudi Arabia, whatever they say, right on the news. But you having oil spills right off the coast of Florida and Louisiana in the Gulf Coast. You know it neighborhood.
Yeah,
Ain't it guys in Texas working in the oil field all the time
Yeah.
making stupid money?
That's what
In
I keep
yeah,
listening.
Oklahoma making stupid money, right? Louisiana
yeah.
making money on the oil fields. So why are we paying all this money for gas when we got oil reserves right here in the US that we not using? That's what people it's like it's game. But they'll do whatever they'll do and they'll create the panic amongst the people. And then the next thing you know, people going and spending $50 to fill up a two-door Toyota Corolla.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing happened with the Great Depression. You remember what they told us about in history about the Great Depression?
Did it crash the stock market?
Right. Do you know how it happened though? What really
Uh,
happened?
Hold
No.
on, I do. I can't remember.
No.
That's when they came over with the birth certificates after that. See,
Yeah, they
that's
were
when
they were
that's when the people became collateral. We stopped
yeah,
being people,
right,
Are y'all
and
hip to the
right,
start paying off a debt.
right.
are y'all hip to the 1099 A's and C?
Yeah. Schedule
You
C,
know,
Schedule
paying off
A's.
debt?
Yeah. Promissory notes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
check this.
I've been looking into that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. We
Dude,
got to talk about. We'll talk about that offline. But check this out.
yeah.
This, this some this some good game. This some good game I'm finna give you.
Go ahead.
So the Great Depression happened because J.P. Morgan. So J.P. Morgan, to give you the whole story to help you understand how diabolical these motherfuckers is. J.P. Morgan bought a British company that was a steel company that ended up building a boat called the Titanic, which was supposed to be the unsinkable ship. It was so believable to the world because J.P. Morgan had become a very wealthy man during the Industrial Revolution by being involved with steel. So it made sense. So upon the announcement of this unsinkable ship that was going to be built called the Titanic, a whole bunch of people signed up to sail on this ship as it made its first voyage from Britain to New York. Three of the people that was on the ship were three of the wealthiest people in the world. One in particular was a man named John Jacob Astor the Fourth. He was known at that time as what somebody like Jeff Bezos would be known in today's society as the richest man alive. They were against the Federal Reserve, and they were the only people that had enough money that could have created something that could have rivaled the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds at that time. So these three men was on the ship together, and the ship supposedly hit a iceberg and sank. The next year, the Federal Reserve Act was signed. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, that was J.P. Morgan. The next thing that J.P. Morgan did was he got with a dude
So
named William
hold on.
Randolph Hearst.
The,
Huh?
the three dudes that was the richest ones that they perished on the boat then, right?
Yeah, they died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got their money.
Nah, they stopped them. They stopped those three dudes from being able to do something business wise that could have rivaled what they were setting up with the Federal Reserve Bank.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, see, a lot of people think the Federal Reserve is a government agency, but it's not. It's a privately owned bank.
Right.
Another real good book that people could read about that is called A Creature from Jekyll Island. But what J.P. Morgan did was he got with a man named William Randolph Hearst. You remember Patty Hearst?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard that name.
Newspaper
Okay,
people.
Yeah.
right, right. William Randolph Hearst owned 85% of the newspapers in America, and they started printing in the newspaper that all the banks was running out of money, and it was a lie. But Before then, you didn't have the FDIC that regulated how much money you could pull out of your account on a day-to-day basis. So what ended up happening was if I had $80,000 in the bank and I found out that the banks was running out of money later than other people, and I got to the bank when I got off work at 5 o'clock, and there wasn't no more money left at that bank, I just went from having $80,000 in the bank to having no money.
Yep.
Right.
And what created the Great Depression? A lie that J.P. Morgan and William Randolph Hearst put in newspapers, and people believed it. Just like people believe because they saw LeBron James crying that Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash.
Huh? I didn't get that one.
Huh?
That went over my head.
Yeah. All I know is Kobe had a black, yellow, and purple helicopter, but when they were showing it on the news, it was a blue and white helicopter at first. All I say to people is this: a lot of these celebrities that people think dead, they ain't dead. I'll leave it.
What is the purpose?
Because
Machiavellians?
after a person done performed the role, they perform the role.
So it's basically Machiavellian.
I mean, that depends on if you subscribe to Machiavelli's philosophy. I don't tend to hold Machiavelli in high regard like a lot of people.
Oh, I mean that's what they usually use. That's the only reason I said it. I don't know much about him myself.
Yeah,
Is that
he was the understudy to Leonardo da Vinci, and Leonardo da Vinci was, bisexual, weirdo, all kind of other stuff. Most of them men at that time was real sexuals and. I don't
But
give
that
them.
started all the way back into the Roman Empire, though.
Yeah, for sure. You're absolutely right. The Greeks and the Romans. That's why they try to give us so much Greek Roman influence here. Because the most powerful people in this society tend to be homosexuals and pedophiles.
Yep. Until their ass get caught.
But back up though, because you skipped over that. Because let's go back to the Depression, when they created the birth certificates, was the whole reason why they did that with the number on the back.
Yep.
What the number signify?
A bond. That's a debt.
I know. That's your debt number. That's your account number.
It's the debt. It's the debt that never had to pay to the King of England. Because remember, the 13 colonies was back post.
You breaking up.
The 13 colonies was originally supposed to be an annex of England.
Right. But they rebelled.
Supposedly they rebelled.
So they say.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
why.
that's the history we're gonna get.
Right. Watch this. Who was the person that rode supposedly and said the British was coming?
Paul Revere.
Napoleon?
Paul Revere, right?
Yeah.
What's a reverend? Revere, reverence, reverend.
Yeah,
Who was Paul?
a disciple.
No, Paul was the deceiver. Paul wasn't a disciple. But Paul was the person who wrote almost half of the New Testament, supposedly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And in the New Testament, Paul told 3 stories about how he supposedly saw Jesus on the road. Remember?
Right.
Romans road, Roman, Greco-Roman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Paul told the 3 stories because that's the 3 degrees in Freemasonry.
Right.
Everything about Freemasons is either to conceal or reveal.
Right.
So if you profane, you're not worthy of the true information.
Right.
You have the lesser mysteries and the greater mysteries.
That's interesting. Like I said, I was getting a little knowledge on that 13 in the 3 numbers, and I still got that off, even though you say about William Cooper, he speaks on that about them numbers. 311, uh,
Yeah.
19.
Yeah, so it's like this right here, bro. The most dangerous person is the person who tell you a little bit of truth.
Right.
Because um okay, just like I was just talking about Paul, right? And Paul was the great deceiver in the religion. All right. In the Bible, Jesus says, many shall come in my name and they shall say that I am Christ, and they shall deceive many people.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people will come and they will say things to you that at the time resonate with you as truth because it may make a lot of sense, or it could be something that's actual and factual that they telling you, right? But if I'm not telling a person the whole truth, or if I'm not um talking to this person to help give them the necessary tools for them to build their own house, or I'm not giving them or helping them have the ability to fish, then I'll keep having to feed them. So a little truth that a lot of people tell is why we're still in the predicament that we're in, you see.
Right.
So Farrakhan say things that's true. Martin Luther King said things that's true.
Right. Right.
However
True.
far, however far back you want to go, or however far current you want to go, it's a bunch of people that say things that's true. And if all of these people was who they supposed to be, why the fuck we still in the situation that we in?
Hey, did you see not to switch because it just came to my head? Did you see the youngster get tased, got killed? It was supposed to be the nephew of the BLM movement
Uh-uh.
in LA. He got tased.
And he
And
was with BL.
no, his I guess it was
His auntie.
his auntie, yeah, that started it.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
She lesbian.
Huh?
All the founders of the BLM is lesbian,
yeah.
and one of them is married to a transgender man.
Probably just her sacrifice. Yeah, probably
It
just
looked
her.
like it. It,
Mm,
Yeah,
it, said-
probably, he
it looked
probably.
like it.
the video. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, man. So
Yeah, but see, like Goob, a lot of people don't know what the BLM stand for, who founded it. They thinking it's all for just the black movement. But if you go on their site and read it, it's gonna tell you what they doing. And people done donate
Yeah,
all this. Look at all the money they got, and then where did it come back into any community? Look what
right,
communities it went to, and who benefited off of it. None of us benefited off of it, but a certain group of people did, and they
right,
still benefiting off of it. Because if you
right.
really pay attention, though, if you really pay attention and look at it real hard, when all that was going on, look at the people that was out there. Look what type of people was out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They come from a certain group.
Yep.
Right.
LBGT and a P.
Yeah, shit crazy, bro. They got us duped up
Oh, for
and thinking that it's one way, but it really ain't.
sure.
Yeah.
But see, like he said though, the truth only gonna be told a little bit because knowledge never supposed to be revealed fully. It never does. It's a cloak and dagger game with the knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. You
It's just
have
like
to.
the
You have to.
no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's just like the I'm gonna say the border problem, right? You allow as many as you want for them to come, but do y'all do disrespectful shit like sending them motherfuckers to cities they don't know nothing about and just dropping them off. And them niggas is not liable for it. The main person
Right,
that's doing the dude from Florida. And
right,
he's saying this is what I'm doing.
right.
That shit is crazy, you know. You give them false ideas and then dropping them off. But you know, they gonna do whatever for a person of color. I want to see what they say something about they was giving reparations in California.
Yeah, I saw.
When
I don't know. I just see something in the news feed that came through my phone. You know, they still trying to get reparations just for California.
I don't know, bro. That shit crazy.
Yeah. But hey, we've been on here an hour and 15, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
the second round of it, man. We got a little understanding on the 13th. Still ain't got why it's Friday the 13th. That's the evil day. Why couldn't it be Tuesday the 13th, Monday the 13th? Why them days ain't fucked up? You know what I'm saying? So
But it always fall on that Friday. Always there, huh?
yeah.
It won't never get off beat. It's always gonna be on Friday.
But hey, I appreciate y'all stopping through,
Okay.
man. I'm about to
Right
go
on.
rest my neck, man. Peace out to y'all.
All
Everybody
right.
that came in the chat, Cowboy, Any God, Family Man. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a ring there, Hebrew.
All right, bro.
All right.
All right,
Peace out.
neighborhood.
He left
Peace.
already.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
know
bro.
he was about to be out.
All right.
All right,
Peace.
later. Yeah, I appreciate y'all swinging through, man. Second part of it. You got a little understanding on Friday the 13th, man. Shout out to all my Pomona homies, all the people that came in the chat. Brian Johnson, Cowboy, Boss Claus, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all. Catch y'all on the next one. Check out my shorts. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. You know, something different, and we'll change up from time to time. You know, tell them what the Goob Show will talk about. Definitely gonna talk about UFOs, and then I tell everybody, start looking up. When you see it, just say, hey, that nigga Goob did say that shit is out there. Until the next time, peace out, man. I'm out.